or just passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Nice to see your smiling faces. Did you notice the sunflowers as you came up? Aren't they delightful? It's so fun. They disappear later on in the year, and then they come back. And it's like, I don't know, magic or nature or something. I don't know. It's a great thing. And it's our neighbors, right? It's our new neighbors. So anyway, I'm Reverend Tracy, and delighted to welcome all of you here this morning and saying hello to our friends out there online. Everybody wave. We're so happy that you are all joining us, because we know that in community we are always reminded of just how magnificent life can be. And when things get a little hard, or maybe we get a little off course, this is what brings us all back together. This is what reminds us of the truth. And the truth is that life is for us, and we are right where we're meant to be, and it's all good. So thank you all for choosing to be here this morning. Also here this morning is not Nisa Burrows, who's in your program as our practitioner. Stepping in for Nisa is Reverend Mary. You may or may not know that we're not quite done with the pandemic yet. And Nisa was exposed, so in a preponderance of caution, she is staying away today. I would like to encourage you, it's not required, but I would like to encourage you to continue your wearing your masks indoors. As you know, we do not have a fancy filtration system here in the sanctuary. We have lots of space and lots of air. However, might be a good idea, especially if you're vulnerable or someone close to you is. So that is our recommendation. All right, we also have music this morning. We've got Jeff on keyboards, and we welcome back Michael. We missed you last time. How are you doing?
I'm doing much better.
Much better is good to hear. Thank you so much. We're glad that you are here with us this morning. So let's get started by getting centered. I invite you, wherever you are, just to maybe clear off your laps and clear your minds and close your eyes if you're comfortable, and take in the sound of the bowl. And let that tone take your breath right into your heart space, that place of love, that place of peace, that place untouched by the world. For it is here within that we remember that you and I and Spirit are all one.
So as we sit in this silence, we can feel that spirit within. That spirit that is both transcendent and universal and very personal, expressing itself through us as us. And we know that as the Spirit is within us, it's in with everything in this universe. It is that same essence that makes the stars shine, as makes us express exactly who we are. Each star is perfect. Each of us is perfect. This room we share together this morning is perfect. We are in our perfect place at the perfect time. And we know this morning that Spirit speaks through Reverend Tracy, expresses through Michael and Jeff, and hears through each of our set of ears. It is all one wonderful, awesome flow of grace from one aspect of God to another. And so we move into gratitude. Gratitude for being here, gratitude for sharing this experience, gratitude to ourselves for bringing us here this morning, and for the air conditioner and the comfy pew cushions. And it's in that gratitude, in that knowing of our oneness, that we begin this morning. And so it is. Good morning. My reading today is from The Science of Mind from July 2015. Yeah, I still have some of those around. So it says, through us, not to us, is this particular, it was for Thursday, July 9th of that year. It says, have you ever been to an art gallery with a friend and had two completely different opinions of the same piece of art? What we see and how we see it are a direct reflection of our thoughts and beliefs, many of which were handed down to us by our families and society. This is why it is so crucial for us to continually examine our beliefs. We must ensure that the thoughts we have throughout the day are dwelling on what we desire. We can't expect to think the worst and experience the best. One of the most difficult concepts for many people to grasp in New Thought teaching is the oneness of all creation. We see that what appears to be life beginning, birth, maturing, growing up, and getting old as ending in death, yet our spiritual belief is that life is all there is. So these transitions we see are just that, transitions. What appears to begin on the physical plane has actually always existed. And when people, animals, or plants die to this life, that energy continues on. For example, the physical decomposes, creating nutrients for the planet, which in turn become the building blocks of something new. It is this concept of oneness with all creation that Dr. Ernest Holmes is speaking about. We look to God as the ultimate example, not as the exception. And in our unity with that power, we acknowledge that we are all that we are that which God is. We are that which God is. Thanks.
I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, need to be still and let God love me. I need to relax and let God take over. I
need to relax and let God take over. He'll take this load off my shoulder. I need to relax and let God take over. When there's trouble all around me and my soul cries out for rest, when I feel that I'm failing, even though I've done my best, when decisions get so heavy, there are answers that I need. I know it's time to just be still and let God love me. I need to be still. I need to be still. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still and let God love me. I need to be still. Let God love me. When this old world starts to push and shove me, I need to be still and let God love me.
Thank you. Nice to have you back, Michael. So today we light our candle, and I think we light it for wonder. The Centers for Spiritual Living annual theme, they do have one, is Living Everyday Wonder. And I like that idea because it implies a certain amount of curiosity and appreciation. Like, I wonder how that works, and wow, isn't that cool when you finally find out. So we light our candle today for wonder, that we might understand life from a place of curiosity and appreciation. So last week, we're talking this month about relationship, our relationship with ourselves, with each other. Last week we talked about our relationship with society, and we sort of acknowledged that we are society, right? It is the composite of everyone's consciousness that creates the culture we live in. And I found this quote that's perfect for today as a transition. Tired of trying to cram her sparkly star-shaped self into society's beige square holes, she chose to embrace her ridiculous awesomeness and shine like the freaking supernova she was meant to be. Yeah. So, speaking of supernovas, have you seen the pictures from the Webb telescope? Is there not a sense of wonder about all of that? That immense vastness and beauty, and I mean, really, it's just sparkly lights in the dark night. But why is it so much more than that? How is it that we resonate with those pictures from deep within? And Carl Sagan would tell us it's because the cosmos is within us, we are made of star stuff, which is the title for today. Because we too are composed of those subatomic light particles. And so as we talk today about our relationship with nature, part of it is understanding, as Ernest Holmes says in What Religious Science Teaches, that the manifest universe is the body of God. In other words, spirit expresses as the forms that we see. So it is the earth and the sky, it's the trees, the rocks, the other creatures, it is each other. This is all an expression of our spiritual truth, the energy of life as us. And we say that we are both human and divine, right? We talk all the time about we live in this world that's got a limited perspective. Language is, not exactly expansive. And so we have a viewpoint that can always be expanded or widened or deepened. And that within us is this divine sense of self, this divine consciousness that is the reality or the real truth of who we are. And we move back and forth energetically between the two. But what if we really understood that we are spirit expressing as form? What if we really understood that we are not human and divine? We are divine as humans. There's a difference. There's a difference. Both science and metaphysics teach us that we're all one, that we are made of the same stuff, that we are of one substance. Again, going back to Carl Sagan, there are as many atoms in one molecule of DNA as there are stars in a typical galaxy. The nitrogen in our DNA, the calcium in our teeth, the iron in our blood, the carbon in our apple pies were made in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are made of star stuff. Take for a moment the idea, I want you to picture in your mind biting into an apple. Pick your favorite apple. Bite into an apple. And just daydream for a moment about how far back the lineage of that apple goes. The millions and billions of apples that had to happen. The fruit, the seeds, the trees, the soil. All of that bringing you to this one in your hand. This apple that you are tasting. And that bite nourishes you, fuels you, becomes a part of your body. So it's not just that billions of years ago stars collapsed, creating the elements of which we are made. It continues, even now, even here. And it asks for our awareness and our appreciation and our curiosity and our sense of wonder that we might truly be in and as this life as fully as we can, as much as we are able to discover about ourselves and express is simply life bursting forth just as it does in that apple and the apple before it and the seed before it. All the way back in time. Many of you have heard or remember me talking about Mae Jemison. She was the first black woman into space. She's an engineer, she's a physician, she co-founded a foundation in her mother's name that continues to support camps and programs for kids to be curious about and learn about science. And she says, when I went into space, I felt like I had as much right to be there or in the universe as any speck of stardust. I was eternal as that. Changed her perspective on what it meant to be a part of life, to be nature expressing, to see herself as part of that vastness. And we are that. That is the truth of who we are. When we talk about nature, it pays us to remember how vast and infinite its expression is. And that's where those pictures tickle our imagination, because you're looking at this deep space, which no one has seen before, this particular portion of it, with these beautiful lights, and you just know the vastness goes on forever, and you realize that this is life also. This is who we are also. And while we have a relationship with nature now, even in everyday life, if you really want to get beyond the I love a beautiful sunset aspect of nature, we really want to see the vastness of it. We want to know that nature is our very own life, because then we can appreciate the beauty of how our body communicates with itself, with our minds. Because if we don't, then we don't fully appreciate how the trees communicate with the birds, or the bees with the flowers. And while we may have something good, we won't know how wonderful it really is unless we know and love it for all that it is. Now you may say that that's great, we're all one, kumbaya and all that stuff, except for the part where it feels like some people out there are really weird. Some of you have really weird ideas. I still like you, but come on, we're different, right? You're other. Or people who are really other. Or you don't want to know people who are really other. But take the words out there and use those letters. That's how you get other. Something we see as out there. And if we see nature as out there, as separate from us, then we are setting up that divisiveness, that strife, that fear, that vulnerability, all the conflict, all of the things we experience at a human level, because our eyes tell us that we are separate. The consciousness knows differently. And it seems like a paradox. And there are seeming paradoxes in nature also. Paradoxes, paradoxi, paradise, whatever. More than one paradox in nature. For example, carbon monoxide, and oxygen, CO and CO2. One is toxic and will kill us. The other is the breath of life we need to be here. Same elements, different relationship, different proportions. We are the same element. We are ourselves walking around this life that we live, coming into contact with other elements all the time. But we are in different relationship with all of those things. How do we show up? What do we hide? What do we offer and give freely? What do we run away with? It's all about relationship and proportion, and having the intention of seeking oxygen and leaving that space where the toxic air is to do what it does. The thing that makes it work between us, the thing that makes it work between us and our planet, the thing that makes it work between all that we do is our awareness of that relationship. Do you remember as kids, all the commercials and the billboards and things about don't be a litter bug, right? And only you can prevent forest fires. Smokey's still around. He just says wildfires now. But it was teaching us as children to be aware of this relationship we have with the planet and to realize that we are responsible. We are responsible for the way in which we respond. It's ours to do. It's ours to know. It's ours to love. Because when that relationship is loving, when any relationship is loving, there is comfort, there's compassion, there's kindness, there's give and take, there's being cherished and cherishing. When a relationship is founded in love, then there is growth, there is life, there is oxygen to breathe and sustain us all. Nature, nurture, nourishment, all the same root, meaning to give life, life being brought to. That is who we are in this world. And we are not separate from it. It is not out there. It is, as Carl says, right here. Right here. Anne Frank, in her Diary of a Young Girl, wrote, "The best remedy for those who are afraid, lonely, or unhappy is to go outside, somewhere where they can be quite alone with the heavens, nature, and God. Because only then does one feel that all is as it should be, and that God wishes to see people happy amidst the beauty of nature. As long as this exists, and it certainly always will, I know then there will always be comfort for every sorrow, whatever the circumstances may be. And I firmly believe that nature brings solace to all troubles." Nature heals. The nature that we are heals. When we are being our authentic self, when we are in the presence of someone who is showing up authentically, we feel the difference. We feel the connection, the wholeness, the sense of peace that comes from no struggle, no effort. That there is a place in our lives where we are as we are and know that we are, as Mary read, perfect. That we are where we are meant to be. That right where we are is simply our step into the next greater yet to be. Always. And so we spend time in nature. We go out there on purpose. And I had to laugh at this particular paragraph. This is Joyous Living Journal. And, Pat and I just went to Idlewild. We spent a week, a month ago, just sitting on a deck and communing with the squirrels and the birds and each other and the jigsaw puzzles and the scents of the pine and it was all that and then some. But they captured it here. Preparing to return home after an idyllic stay in nature, where the experience has been otherworldly, can be a shock to your system. You are out among the towering pines looking upon magnificent snow-capped mountain peaks. You may substitute the ocean or Baja or wherever it is that you go for this. You watch the eagles, more like the blue jays, soaring in the pristine blue sky and the fish jumping through the glassy surface of the blue lake. You breathed in the crispy, clean, fresh air as you listened to the thunder of silence and wondered, how am I going to deal with the tumultuous energies back home? It was more like, why would I ever want to go back there? Realizing it's not the time in your life to make this location your new permanent residence. Oh, but we did talk about it. You attempt to take it all in. You attempt to get one last impress, a mental photograph. But you can't seem to get it all into your mental memory. There's always something more to capture. Close your eyes and surrender to the silence, and you'll hear nature inviting you into her scene. And you'll realize you are as much a part of nature as the trees and the animals. When you stop trying to take it with you and allow yourself to become part of the infinite, you will always have access to every aspect of life's beautiful territory. Now, not everyone is a tree hugger or a toes in the sand kind of person. That's okay. Don't need to be. The intention is to find where it is that you connect that fills you up. What is your appreciation level, and can you expand that? Can you really move around in nature in a way that activates your wonder? I was in Arizona this last week visiting family and friends, and one of the things I did with my soon-to-be 12-year-old niece was go to Butterfly Wonderland, and that's exactly what it was. Huge terrarium type thing with tropical plants and way too much humidity, way too much. However, they did have fans strategically placed for the wimps, the weather wimps among us, and the butterflies were just, go on my Facebook page, you'll see pictures, butterflies everywhere, all different kinds, beautiful, beautiful species. And it is a wonderland. You go in, and I think I must have said 50 times, wow, oh, look at that one. That's how we are meant to live our lives. That is how we are to appreciate nature and to stand there in the humidity with, flat hair and everything's sticky and where's the bench, and looking at all of this and going, oh yeah, I'm a part of this too. Because truly we are. And truly that energy of life is exactly what we are, always. So I'm going to close today by incorporating our closing prayer into this right here, which means you get to close your eyes and let whatever rises in your senses, your feeling, the words, the pictures, whatever comes to mind, just let them be and appreciate. And so I invite you to take a deep breath, maybe 2 or 3, and simply relax. And I ask you to remember that you are water. Cry. Cleanse. Flow. Let go. Remember that you are fire. Burn. Tame. Adapt. Ignite. Remember that you are air. Observe. Breathe. Focus. Decide. Remember that you are earth. Ground. Give. Build. Heal. Remember that you are spirit. Connect. Listen. Know. Be still. The cosmos is within each of us. We truly are spirit as expression in this wonderful, beautiful, magical world we live in. And right where we are, spirit is as our very essence. Water, fire, earth, air, our true nature. The spirit that we cannot help but be. Life is for us. Life is in us. Life is as us. And all that we are meant to be. And we simply let this unfold as life for each of us in its own way. Picturing ourselves among the stars, bright lights on a dark sky. Beautiful and true, and so it is. So I invite you to join me in saying our affirmation. You'll find it in your program, and I ask you to repeat each line after me. The mystery and beauty of the stars lives within me. I am the expression of universal life. And so it is. So it is. All right, before we have our next bit of music, I want to thank all of you for your ongoing contributions. This community is what it is because all of you respond with love. So thank all of you, thanking our friends online that are out there. You can donate on our website or in our e-blast. And those of you in the room, we have baskets in the back. And if you will, take your contribution or your intention to serve and hold it over your heart as we speak our prosperity affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now.
A couple of months ago, Jeff and I had a little discussion about a song that we'd like to do in honor of a musician who passed away. And unfortunately, we were visited by the COVID fairy, and we couldn't be here to do that. So we'd like to do it now. It's a song called We May Never Pass This Way Again. Life, so they say, it's but a game and they let it slip away. Love, like the autumn sun, should be dying, but it's only just begun. Like the twilight in the road up ahead, they don't see just where we're going. All the secrets in the universe whisper in our ears. All the years come and go, take us up, always up. We may never pass this way again. We may never pass this way again. We may never pass this way again. So they say, are for fools and they let it slip away. Peace, like the silent dove, should be flying, but it's only just begun. Like the sailors in the olden days, we must gather all our courage, sail our ships out on the open sea, cast away our fears, till the years come and gone, going 'cause up, always up, we may never pass this way again. We may never pass this way again. We may never pass this way again. So I wanna laugh while the laughing is easy.
I wanna cry if it makes it worthwhile.
I may never pass this way again. That's why I want it with you. 'Cause you make me feel like I'm more than a friend, like I'm a journey and you're the journey's end. I may never pass this way again. That's why I want it with you, yeah. You can sing along. We may never pass this way again. 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 Thank you.
That was fabulous. Thank you. All right, invitations. Oh, we have Interfaith Night this Wednesday night in the chapel at 7 o'clock. Rahana Mawjood, am I saying that right? Mary, I hope, Mawjood. She's talking about the importance of relationship and community in Islam. So it's an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the spiritual teachings of another faith and to ask questions and to bring your wonder and curiosity Wednesday night at 7 in the chapel. Before service, as always, we have our meditation, probably not led by Nisa this week until after she tests, but if not, it will still happen right here in the practitioner room off the foyer at 6:15. So it's an opportunity for a midweek meditation and a centering that you will enjoy, but only if you partake. Just suggesting it, you know. If you can't make it in person, you can always call in on the phone for the meditation, but for the interfaith speaker, you will need to be here in person, so do your best to come on Wednesday night. We still are collecting food for Family Shelter and Hope. What's it called? Hope? What's that place called? Blank. All right, 2 organizations that provide food to the community. We have a box out front. So if you will bring your non-perishable items, we'll make sure they get it and we'll figure out what they're called and make sure it gets there. You know, some days are just, the butterfly wonderland is in my head. All right. I only want to mention one more thing, and that is that yesterday, I think I mentioned last week, was Reverend Miriam's 99th birthday. Practitioner Brad Weathern spoke to her yesterday, said she sounds fabulous, and I just wanted to remind everyone. Now, if you would like to send her a card or flowers or, I'm firmly of the belief that your birthday basically lasts for a month, right? There's no reason to make it just one day. So I invite you to reach out, let her know that she is remembered and loved, even though she's not able to be with us in person on a Sunday. She says she feels great, she sounds great, but there's a lot of days she'd just as soon take a nap and not leave her house. So you can't really blame the woman for that. She earned it. So let's see. Anything else we want to announce? We're good. We're good. All right, so let's stand up, make a circle, and sing to Eddie.
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together, we come together, we come together.